What was the craziest black market at your high school? I was the kingpin of a ruthless cartel for 3 years. The market was very challenging to get started in. Some teachers and students sold sodas and snacks for some pretty high prices. To ensure that I'd be able to sell with no repercussions, I went straight to the top. I asked our school principal if I could sell snacks and sodas to raise money for a mission trip. I lied, of course, there was no mission trip. Fast forward 1 week, and I'm at Walmart Labor Day weekend. There's a sale running for 24 packs of Pepsi products for $2.99 each. Assuming I sell all of them at 50 cents, I'd be able to undercut the market and have some more money to profit. It was a flawless plan. The first week of sales goes well. Kids love their sugar. With the sales of sodas going well, it was time to turn my attention to streamlining the process of buying a soda. I couldn't carry several sodas in my backpack on a daily basis. People had to have a place to buy. And so, I hatched a plan. First, I acquired a small lunch cooler, one that had frozen pockets and could keep the sodas cold without needing to waste precious space for ice packs. I bought 20 of them. At this point, I had enough soda to last me the next months. If everything sold, I'd managed to have about $575 a profit to turn around into selling more sodas. At this point, people started hearing rumors of the man who sold the sodas, the plug, they called me. And so business was absolutely booming at this point. I was raking in about 20 a day, but it wouldn't last forever. Another teacher started selling sodas. This teacher had a leg up on me with more options but a higher price. Something had to be done. I was losing customers to the 9th grade English teacher. I couldn't let that slide. There was a solution. While this teacher sold sodas, she didn't have snacks. And that is what the kids really wanted. So I made a business trip. I had found a wholesale foods distributor about 3 hours away, so I borrowed almost $200 from my parents, telling them I'd pay them back in full with interest. I bought so many snacks: Twinkies, tasty cakes, Nutty Buddies, cosmic brownies, oatmeal cream pies. This was perfect. The items I bought were dirt cheap for shopping carts worth of them. And kids didn't check expiration dates when they were hungry. I purchased these and sold them each for 50 cents a pop. After a while, my competition bowed out. No one could sustain their business with me undercutting everyone. Enter junior year of high school. I've been working summers and making connections with friends. I've got 2 people who worked with me to build my empire into a flourishing network of sugar. With my plan hatched and new resources acquired, it was time to begin anew. It first started by selling the usual soda and snacks. Business was good, but I wanted to up the stakes, as new players had emerged, and they wanted a price of the pie. 2 Girl Scouts started selling cookies, and the competition was fierce. It became a game of who could control the classroom. The school was split, and I was losing corners in real estate. Then I met RK. RK worked at the local movie theater, and at the time, every Tuesday, there was a sale on all candy being sold. Employees could also use their discount and pay only 25 cents for a large bag of Skittles, something that would normally cost $5. Bingo. I found my way to cut out the competition, but I decided to go a step further. I had another sly friend named CW. CW worked at the local gas station beside my house. The routine was simple. I would walk in and buy 25 Tic Tacs for 50 cents. I'd then get a receipt for each transaction as I'd buy them separately. I'd then go home and complete the survey, saying how good CW was. In exchange, his boss would give CW these coupons for a free meal, as well as raises and promotions. This worked perfectly because CW would then give me those coupons to sell. Those coupons I could sell at too, for a quick increase in profits. These incredible advancements were enough to put the 2 Girl Scouts entirely out of business. I once again had a monopoly on the sugar trade, until about halfway through my junior year, there was a problem. I was getting too big for one locker, and complaints were flooding in that people didn't want to rummage through lockers and not find what they were looking for. This came with an opportunity. I reached out to several of my closest friends and offered them a deal. They let me rent out their lockers in exchange for being able to take whatever they wanted from the store whenever they felt like it. It was a success. With my stock stashed over several different lockers, it was easy to tell people which lockers to go to. But this also came with a problem. People could easily steal my food and drinks without me knowing. So I hired several kids to rotate shifts, keeping eyes on my food and lockers by way of Skype on phones being set up in the lockers for the entire day. At this point, I was getting big, too big. One of my sellers made the mistake of offering a narc some soda in the form, "Do you want to buy some Coke?" The narc took this to be the substance rather than the soda, and thus I was in a pickle. Everyone started pointing fingers, saying I was the supplier. I was pulled into the principal's office with the other student, who accused me of selling the white powder substance. After being presented with the evidence, I explained that I sold Coca-Cola out of my locker. Maybe it was the fact that the faculty bought my drinks or that students stepped up to bat for me, but in the end, I was never told to stop selling, and thus I continued. In my final year of high school, I was immortalized by my school as the plug, and at the end of it all, the candy cartel was a successful operation for 3 long years. Hundreds of sodas were bought and sold, cash was flowing, and at the end of it all, I was staring at about $3,000 in total profits. After paying my friends and those who worked for me, I was left with about $2,000. From what I've heard, the candy cartel still runs to this day. Students pass down leadership from one person to another, and every now and then, people in my town will come up and ask me if I was the plug. I still have all my transaction books that I kept, and who still owe me money to this day.